Welcome to your class. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today we're going to be focusing on balancing poses. The important thing to remember about balancing is always come back to your breath. Your breath can help you stabilize and balance. So, stabilizing and balancing in your yoga poses, but also remembering to take that knowledge with you that your breath can be used to help balance your life. So let's start on our backs today. Just come to a comfortable position for you. Maybe your knees could be up or your legs straight. So start to settle in, finding a position where you feel comfort and ease. And we'll start by just practicing coming to breath. So notice the inhales and the exhales. Sometimes it's helpful to feel the physical sensation of the breath moving in and out of your body. Noticing what happens to your belly and chest as you take a breath in and then release. Maybe noticing how the air feels as it enters your nose and goes down your throat. And then as you exhale, as the air makes its return trip out. If you notice that thoughts come in, just pull yourself back to your breath. Your breath will stabilize you and balance you. So now take a full deep inhale all the way up through your belly, ribs, and chest, and then exhale completely through your mouth. We'll do that one more time. Take a full deep inhale, filling up your total breathing space, and then exhaling completely. Now take 2 or 3 breaths just at your normal breathing pace. And then when you're ready, roll onto your side and then press yourself up. First to a seated position, and then you can come to all fours. So begin with your hands underneath your shoulders. Spread your fingers. The tops of your feet will be pressed into the mat. Your knees will be about hip distance apart. And let's start to move. So move from left to right to begin. Just moving back and forth. Feeling the weight of your body shift as you move from side to side. Now begin to move forward and backwards, very gently, beginning to move with your breath. So breathing in as you come forward, exhaling back. Breathing in and out. You could continue to move either from side to side or front to back with your breath. You could start to incorporate cat-cow, so bringing your chin and tailbone up as you breathe in for cow, and then exhaling to cat, bringing your chin and tailbone in, arching your spine. So breathing in as chin and tailbone come up, exhaling as you arch your spine and tuck in your tailbone and chin to chest. And we'll do that for one more breath, breathing in and out. So come back to neutral, and we'll start by first bringing your left hand out in front of you like you're going to shake somebody's hand, and then press your right foot back. So placing first the ball of your right foot on your mat, So you can stay here feeling the stretch of your spine. So stretching forward with your hand, pulling your heel back towards the back of the room. If it feels okay, you could lift your right leg off the ground. So you'll be in one straight line, feeling the length in your spine. Now call attention to your breath. So breathing in and out as you balance. So now place your right foot and left hand down. We'll take one round of cat-cow. So breathe in as you bring your chin and tailbone up. And then exhale, rainbow your spine. And then come back to neutral. Now we'll go to the other side. So bring your right hand out in front of you like you're shaking someone's hand, and then step your left foot back, the ball of your foot on the mat. So stretching your right arm forward, pressing the ball of your left foot into the mat, feeling length in your spine. So you could choose to stay here, or you could lift your left foot off the mat. And then come back to your breath as you hold the balance. Breathing in and out. Now place your right hand down and your left foot down. We'll take one round of cat-cow. Breathing in, arch your spine, breathe out. Now, curl your toes, lift your knees off the ground about an inch or so. We'll hold this pose for a breath. Now slowly bring your hips to the ceiling towards downward dog. Let your neck relax. And then we're going to start to pedal our feet. So your knees can be quite bent. So bringing one heel to the ground as you exhale. Breathing in as you bring that heel up, and then bringing the opposite heel down towards the ground. So as you're slowly pedaling your feet, paying attention to your breath, see if you can draw your tailbone up to the sky, even as you're pressing one of your feet down, one of your heels down towards the mat, feeling the length in the back side of your leg. Bring awareness to your breath. Notice if you're holding tension in your neck and see if you can let that go. Now look to your hands as you take a breath in. Walk your feet up to your hands and come to halfway lift with a very straight spine. Draw the crown of your head towards the front of your mat. Now hinge and fold at your hips. Bend your knees. Rest your chest on your hips. Let your neck relax. And we'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Feeling the elongation along the back of your spine. Just feeling an openness in your backside body. You could be in stillness if that feels good, or you could maybe gently rock from side to side. Take one more breath, and then we're going to slowly roll up. So tuck in your chin towards your chest, and just slowly rise up. And then once you arrive, bring your arms out to your sides and then up towards the sky. Draw your hands to your heart and down to your sides. So because we're going to be balancing today, let's get a really good feeling about posture with both feet down, because we're going to be standing on one foot. So feel your feet pressing into your mat, feeling all four corners pressing in. And then bring awareness to your knees and notice if you're locking your knees, and see if you can give a little softness to your knees so that the muscles are doing the work and taking some of the stress off the joints of your knees. Now coming up a little bit further, your hips will be straight forward. Draw your shoulders up towards your ears and then draw your shoulder blades together and back. to open up your front. We'll take a breath here, feeling the crown of your head like it's lifting up to the sky. So feeling once again that elongation. So lifting up from your crown, but feeling grounded in your feet, feeling stable, steady, secure. So when we're going to be balancing on one foot, keep in mind this posture where you're totally energetically balanced in your body. So now come to the front of your mat. In that, once again, find that stable position. Press both of your feet into the earth. Bring your arms out to the sides first and up to the sky. Bring your hands through your heart center. Tent your fingers. Step your right foot back into a low lunge. Plant your hands. Step your left foot back into downward dog. Breathe in as you come to all fours. Exhale, sink into child's pose. Breathe in as you come to all fours, and then curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. You could still have your knees a little bit bent, but let your neck relax. Bring your hips up to the sky and your heels towards the floor. Now look to your hands. Walk your feet up to your hands and come to halfway lift. Hinge at your hips and forward fold. And then press into the ground to rise up, reaching, extending. Now just lift your right leg up. Just bending at the knee. Point your toes. And then bring your right foot down. Bring your hands to your heart and to your sides. Press into the earth again to rise up, hands up towards the sky. Bring your hands through heart center, tent your fingers, step your left foot back, plant your hands into low lunge. Now step your right foot back into downward dog. Inhale as you come into all fours. Exhale, sink into child's pose. Breathe in as you come to all fours, and then curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Look to your hands, walk your feet up to your hands and come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold, pressing both feet into the ground as you rise up, reaching, extending. Now this time lift your left foot up, knee bent. Point your toe so you'll have a straight left leg, and then place your left foot down. Bring your arms to heart center and down by your sides. So stand up tall, shoulders down and back, press into the ground to rise up, reaching, extending. Bring your hands through heart center, tent your fingers, and then plant your hands as you step your right foot back into low lunge. Step your left foot back into downward dog. Breathe in as you come to plank. So now having your hands planted, bring your heels towards the back of the room. You could go on your knees if that feels like it's too much. So stay here for a breath, and then bring your knees to the mat and squeeze your sides with your arms as you lower all the way to your belly, resting your forehead on the mat. Take a breath here. Breathe in, draw your shoulder blades back, bring your chest off the mat. Feel the sensation and the strength in your upper back. Take one more breath here, and when you exhale, lower your head. Breathe in, press into all fours first, then curl your toes, bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Look to your hands, walk your feet up to your hands and come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold, press into the earth to rise up, reaching, extending. Once again, lift your right leg up, point your toes, and then step your right foot down. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Press your feet into the earth as you rise up, reaching and extending. Bring your hands to your heart. Tense your fingers, step your left foot back as you plant your hand into low lunge. Step your right foot back into downward dog. Take a breath in as you come to plank or plank on knees, pressing your heels towards the back of the room, drawing your navel to your spine. Now lower your knees to the ground, plant the tops of your feet into the mat, squeeze your sides as you lower to your belly, resting your forehead on the mat. When you're ready to breathe in, lift your chest up, draw your shoulder blades down and back. And then exhale, bring your forehead to the mat. Now press into all fours first. Bring your hips high and back to downward dog. Look to your hands. Walk your feet up to your hands and come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold, and then press into the earth to rise up, reaching, extending. Lift your left leg up, knee bent, point your toe, and then put your left foot down. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. So find that nice, stable, steady position in your mountain pose or Tadasana pose. Shoulders drawn back, open chest. So now lift your right foot off the ground, really pressing your left foot into the mat. So you could stay right here with your toes pointed with most of your weight on your left foot and just a tiny bit on your right. Or if it feels okay, stand up tall and then lift your right leg up with your knee bent. So you could stay here, or you could hold on to your knee, maybe interlacing your fingers and standing up tall. So now come back to your breath. So feeling the sensation, maybe some wobbling of the muscles in your left foot, but really focusing on your inhales and your exhales. So now we'll point our toes towards the front of the room, and then slowly, like you're moving through molasses, we're going to step back into a high lunge. So once you arrive, arrange your feet so that they're in two tracks, so that you'll have a little bit more balance. Standing on the ball of your back foot, standing up tall. Now draw your arms up to the sky and breathe. So taking a breath or two here. So maybe feeling a little wobbly. All right, take a breath in, and what we're going to do is launch off our back foot and press into our left foot and rise up into like an airplane pose. So you're still standing on your left leg, opening up your chest, drawing your arms back, really feeling your legs working. Call attention to your breath, breathing in and out, and then standing up. So we'll take a freedom breath here. Give that left leg a break. So press your both feet into the ground, reaching, extending your arms up to the sky. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. So now stand tall in your mountain or Tadasana pose, feeling the balance on both feet. You might notice that your left foot feels very different from your right after making it work so hard. So now bring most of your weight to your right foot. So you could just tent the toes of your left foot, and this is a perfectly okay position to be in. Do what's right for you. If you would like to do more, you can lift your left leg up with your knee bent, So standing up tall, getting your balance, and then if it feels okay, you can hold on to your the shin of your left leg, standing up tall, balancing on your right foot. Bring awareness to your breath, breathing in and out, standing up tall, feeling your right foot working hard. Sometimes it's helpful when you're balancing to find a point of focus. Focus your gaze. Now release your shin if you're holding on to it. Straighten your left foot in front of you and then slowly tip back and going towards high lunge. Slowly, slowly. And when you arrive, bring your arms up. And you might need to adjust your feet, your positioning to find a stable position. So if you feel the need to move around, do that. Standing on the ball of your back foot. So reaching your fingers up to the sky, but keeping your shoulders away from your ears. So feeling a lengthening in your arms. So when you're ready to take a breath in, press off your back foot and press your right foot into the ground and launch up to an airplane pose, drawing your arms back, bringing your chest up, breathing as you hold the pose, breathing in and out, finding a point of focus, and then come up to standing. We'll take a freedom breath, press both feet into the ground, reach your arms up to the sky, maybe a tiny back bend, and then bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. So let's take a full deep breath in, reaching, extending. Bring your hands through heart center, tent your fingers, step your left foot back and plant your left foot into the earth. Press your right foot into the ground to rise up and bring your hips to the left and we'll come to warrior two. So your back foot is planted, your right knee is bent, your arms are out to your side, feeling the length across your chest as you reach arms front to back, gazing out over your right fingertips. Flip your right palm and reach overhead to reverse, gazing up at the ceiling, feeling openness in your right side body. And then coming back to warrior two. Now frame your foot with your right hand, or with both hands. Frame your right foot with both hands. Now plant your hands and step your left foot up. So your left foot will be parallel to the ground. So balancing in this position where you're in a forward fold. So let your neck relax. And once again, bring awareness to your breath. So breathing in and out. Now place your left foot next to your right. Come to halfway lift. Hinge and fold. And then press into the ground to rise up, reaching, extending. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Now place most of your weight on your right foot, the foot that you were just balancing on. I know it's a lot. So now bring your left foot up, bending at the knee. So we're going into dancer pose. So standing up tall, you could stay here just standing on your right foot with your left knee bent. You could reach with your left hand to hold on to the top of your left foot. Now press the palm of your left hand into the top of your left foot and press in, and then start to bring your right arm forward, reaching forward. So we're going to do a little bit of a push-pull. So you're reaching, extending forward with your right hand, pressing in to the palm of your hand with your left foot. So you might need to adjust and balance different ways. So just find what works for you and working towards feeling an arch in your back. Now draw attention to your breath and then slowly release. Take a freedom breath, press both feet into the ground, reaching, extending. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Are you ready for the other side? Press into the earth, reaching, rising, stretching, tiny back bend. Bring your hands through heart center, tense your fingers, and then step your right foot back and plant your right foot into the earth. Press your left foot into the ground to rise up, and then bring your hips and chest to the right. Draw your arms out to the sides into warrior two. So feeling the strength in both of your legs in this pose, both of your feet pressing into the earth, stretching your arms from front to back, noticing if you're holding tension in your neck and see if you can let that go, gazing out over your left fingertips. Taking a couple breaths here, settling in. And when you're ready, flip your left palm, reaching overhead to reverse, gazing out at the ceiling, feeling an openness all along your left side body. And then come back to warrior two just for a beat. Cartwheel your hands down, frame your left foot with your hands, and then step on your left foot, lifting your right foot off the ground so your right foot is parallel to the ground. Balancing here, let your neck relax. And we'll take a couple of breaths here, finding a point of focus, breathing in and out. And then you can step your right foot to meet your left, come to halfway lift, hinge and forward fold, press into the ground to rise up, reaching, extending, maybe a tiny back bend. Bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Now transfer your weight to your left foot, and you could just start by tenting your toes of your right foot, so balancing mostly on your left foot, a tiny bit on your right toes. Reclaim your mountain pose, so standing up tall. Now lift your right foot off the ground, bending at the knee, and then hold on to your right foot with your right hand, so the palm of your right hand will press into the top of your right foot. Now start to press a little bit more your right foot into your right hand, and then begin to reach forward with your left hand. And then work towards finding that pushing and pulling into a back bend. So maybe pressing a little bit forward with your left hand, and then coming up, pressing your right hand into your right foot into your right hand, extending, feeling maybe an arch in your back, and come back to your breath. And we'll stay here for 3, 2, 1. Come down, take a full deep breath in. Bring your hands through your heart center. Plant your hands, step back into a plank pose. So we'll stay here just for a breath, drawing your heels back. Bring your belly towards your spine. And then lower to your knees, and then lower all the way to your belly, resting your forehead on the mat. So bring your arms alongside you. You can have your palms up or down, whatever feels comfortable. We're coming into locust pose. So when you're ready to take a breath in, lift your head off the ground, but don't crane your neck, and then lift your feet and arms up as you breathe in. And we'll hold this for a couple of breaths. And then when you're ready to exhale, come down. So take a breath here. We're going to go into locust one more time. So when you're ready to breathe in, bring your arms and chest and legs up towards the sky. So having a sensation of drawing your shoulder blades back together. So feeling that openness in your chest. Feeling your belly pressing into the ground as you breathe in and out. And then lower down. So now you can choose to go into locust again, or we can go into bow pose. So if you're going into locust, you can begin going into that pose again as you inhale. Otherwise, if you're going to bow, bend your knees and then hold on to the tops of your feet with your palms of your hands. So this might feel like enough of a stretch for you, but if you'd like to go a little bit further, then you can lift your chest further, press your feet into your hands, and open up. So lifting up both your chest and your feet, and pressing your feet into your hands to help open up your heart. We'll take one more breath here, and then lower down. Breathing in and out. Now press your hands alongside your chest to press up into all fours first, and then sink into child's pose. So bringing your arms out in front of you, feeling the stretch of your arms, letting your forehead rest on the mat. Feeling your breath as your belly and chest move in and out, pressing into your thighs. Now press up into all fours, and then come to a seated position. And we'll do our last balancing posture on our butts. So we'll come into boat pose. So feel your sitting bones underneath, resting on the mat. So see if you can find balance between both of your sitting bones. So find that tall position again where you're sitting up tall, drawing your shoulders down and back. You can start with your hands at your sides. Lift your feet off the ground. So feeling the strength of your core area. So you can stay here, or you might try to bring your arms up. So feeling the balance on your sitting bones. Calling again attention to your breath. You could bring your feet up to the sky. We'll just stay here for 3, 2, and 1. So now bring your knees towards your chest and give yourself a nice big hug. You could rest your forehead on your knees, feeling a stretch along your back. And then open up and come onto your back. Rest your feet on the mat. And we'll take a breath here. So feel the sensation of your back settling in. You might need to wiggle around a little bit, but feel your whole back pressing into the earth, the backs of your arms in the earth. Now bring your feet off the ground, and then we'll give another squeeze on your back. So hold on to your shins. You could wrap your arms around your shins, and we'll just roll from side to side. bring your feet up towards the sky, and we'll just do a couple wrist rolls and ankle rolls. Your feet worked very hard today balancing, so let's give a little relief. So just moving round and round with your wrists and your ankles. And then bring your knees into your chest for another squeeze, another rock from side to side. And then come to a full body stretch, reaching arms one direction and your feet the other. And then come to your final resting position, a position that feels comfortable for you. So it could be Shavasana with your arms out to your sides, palms up, your legs slightly spread. If this position doesn't feel comfortable, find a position that does feel comfortable where you can find stillness for the last few minutes of class. So once you've found your position where you're feeling still, draw once again your attention to your breath. So noticing your inhales and your exhales. Notice if there's any shifts from when you started class. So now use that breath to help your body find a deeper relaxation. So begin by sending your gentle breath down your legs, past your knees, all the way down to your toes. As your breath takes the path, it sweeps away any tension, bringing in relaxation. And feel your legs sinking into the mat. Now send your gentle breath to your arms, starting at your shoulders, past your elbows, all the way to your fingertips. Sweeping out tension, bringing in relaxation. And feel all of the muscles of your arms relax. Now bring awareness to your back, your upper back, your mid back, and lower back. Send your gentle breath down from your upper back to mid back to low back, sweeping out tension, allowing relaxation to enter. And your back naturally melts into your mat. Bring awareness to your neck and allow the muscles to let go. Feel your head cradle into the earth. Bring awareness to your face. Notice if you're holding tension in any parts, maybe your jaw, your tongue, the space between your eyes, and just let go. And notice your breath, your inhales and your exhales. And imagine you're lying down in the warm sun, staring up at the sky. And you notice clouds swirling. Maybe some are white and fluffy. Maybe some more airy. Maybe some are darker. And think about these clouds as your thoughts, like little thought bubbles. Now imagine as you're breathing in and out that you have the power to blow a cloud or a thought away. So each time a new thought cloud arrives, take a breath in and exhale and blow the cloud or thought away. Breathing in and letting the clouds drift away. And maybe after some time, you notice that the sky is clear and blue. And knowing that you can always come back to your breath to clear your thoughts, to bring balance back into your life. Now there's nothing left to do. Now is your time to simply be. Now feel your breath start to deepen. With each breath brings oxygen and energy to revitalize your body. So as this energy moves through your extremities, feel your fingers and your toes start to wiggle. Breathing in more energy and oxygen, feel your arms and legs start to find movement. And then when you're ready, roll on to your right side. Use your right arm as a pillow. It might feel good to draw your knees towards your chest so you'll be in a fetal position. And take a moment here in gratitude, thanking yourself for taking time to practice. Thanking yourself for finding balance on your mat and knowing that you can use the power that you developed on your mat to bring that balance out into the world with you. So when you're ready, press yourself up to a seated position. And when you arrive, bring your hands to your heart and press your thumbs into your heart and see if you can feel the gentle beat of your heart. And we'll take one last breath as a class together. So when you're ready, take a full deep breath in and let the air go. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you showing up. Namaste.